So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring up my almost 91-year-old dad, who was in World War II, who served in World War II. And he's still got some bullets in him to prove it. And almost didn't make it home to be my dad. So anyway, Cliff Brown, if you please come up. Do you want to sit right here?
I get up that high, I might get a note.
And I put together a slideshow just so you can see he was young once. You're younger. You're still young. The time in World War II when you met General Patton.
Oh. Yeah, that was quite a meeting. We were coming up the road, column of soldiers on each side walking, and we had just had a big rainstorm, and the roads up there, this was in the foothills, and the roads were pretty muddy, and it was a kind of a main crossroads, but back then, I guess it was a lot of roads that weren't paved everywhere in the world. Anyhow, there was a lot of mud and stuff, and it, like I said, it just rained, and General Patton came along in his big military vehicle, and they were having trouble there at the crossroads. There were tanks and a lot of troops moving there, and he was kind of a guy, if you heard about General Patton, and he got out and started directing traffic because they were having trouble. And the tanks and stuff were slipping around and on, and us soldiers were walking along, one column on each side of the road, and we stopped them. They stopped us, and we were waiting for some trucks they were going to load us on trucks and take us further up to the line and to the front lines, and General Patton had to relieve himself, and so he got out, and the wind was blowing pretty good. And we were, I was in the wrong place, of course, sitting in the ditch there, and he had to relieve himself, and he turned away from the wind, of course, and some of his urine spliced on us guys. And he said, "Oh, sorry guys," he noticed that the wind was blowing his urine. He said, "Sorry guys," and he turned around, and when he did, the wind blew it back on him. And so
that was meeting General Patton.
that was my meeting with General Patton.
So, he actually told this story for the first time to a girlfriend of mine, and years ago, and she said, "Did you know your dad met General Patton?" And I said, "Well, no." And so I went to Dad and I said, "Dad, is it true you met General Patton?" He said, "Well, yes, he peed on me." So, do you want to tell the story that you were just telling me and Jim last night? Oh, about the first German fighter jet that you ever saw.
Oh, yeah. We were, I think in northern Italy, if I remember right, or maybe it was southern France, because I went all through Italy up as far as Grosseto or some of those towns, I can't remember. It was all towards the northern part of Italy. And then my outfit, I was a squad leader in the heavy weapons squadron, who 30 caliber machine guns. And anyhow, we were walking along there, and what was I going to tell?
About the German fighter jet, that's why I'm here.
Okay, and so we come to a place where you could look way down the road, way up the road, and on one side was trees, the other side was, on the west side of the road was trees, and on the east side of the road was just plains, you know, farmland, meadow, and stuff like that. And anyhow, we're going along there, and we hear a noise and way up the road, and we look, and this is strange. Here come 4 airplanes, one leading the others, and it was smoking real bad. And at the time, I didn't realize that the Germans had jet airplanes, and none of the other guys wasn't did either. And anyhow, it was smoking real bad. And my first thought was that the 3 planes behind are American planes, and they're shooting a German plane down. And when it got a little closer, and the bullets started kicking up the road, tearing up the tar on the road, well, we realized I quit then, and so most of us went back in the trees, and some ran the other way, and they didn't make out too good because they got strafed and one thing and another. And but anyhow, that was just part of the thing. So many things happen, just bing, 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 and we called for air support and whatever else they called for, I don't know. But anyhow, it wasn't too long, the planes were gone. On the other side of the east side of the road was a house, and when you get out of town in those days, all of the houses had big stone walls around them. They, very big, tall, and that big. And one of the Germans at that time had their Tiger tanks with the 88 millimeter guns, which were far superior to what we got. But eventually we got the 90 millimeter guns, and so we were out there. But anyhow, this tank of ours knocked a hole in the wall and shoved these guns through there so that he could shoot, And anyhow, it wasn't too long on German tanks. This was a concentrated attack with airplanes and tanks and everything. And these tanks were coming across this open field. I was still way back up in the hills and under the trees, and I could see what was going on. And the German tanks had a layer of steel, probably that thick, a big plate covering the front of the tank, so that if our tanks shot them, the Germans just penetrated that, and that layer of steel out in front of the tank, it was probably that far out in front of the tank, and so they didn't bother the tank that much, unless our only advantage was if we could get around to the side, shoot them on the side or in the rear, and which wasn't too easy to do at times. But anyhow, this tank, first thing it did was let go a big round and blew that wall down enough so that the tank was visible, and then he shot the tank and just fired flew out of the tank and killed everybody in it, of course. And that's some of the stuff that was normal.
And how did you feel when you could hear those big tank,
Well,
I don't want to say missiles or whatever they were coming?
Predator heads.
Yeah. Did you hear it for miles? They would.
Oh, yeah, sure.
What did you call that when they're not shooting straight, the bullet is going
High angle fire
high
weapons.
angle fire, so you could hear them for.
I don't know if anybody ever heard of this. Anzi-Holani was the biggest gun that I think the world had ever known. And it was on a railroad track. It was so big it couldn't leave the tracks. And I know when we were, shortly after I went in Anzio, we'd hear this big gun going off, and I never knew what it was then, but it was high angle fire weapon. And the shells, of course, were all humongous in size, and they would go way up and then fall down. And you could hear that thing coming through the air for a long, long ways, and it just make you pucker up. And when it hit, it would, in most areas, it would leave a hole, probably put a house in. It was just awesome. And it was a terror weapon more than it was a tactical weapon, because it had very little accuracy, but when you hear that shell coming through the air, it scared the hell out of you. And,
what were you telling me about, sometimes they pull you back from the front lines, and then they bring the kitchen out?
Yeah, well, sometimes if you've been on the front lines for a while, some of you guys would get killed and wounded, and you'd lose some of them. And that way, I was a squad leader, and I had 7 men in my squad: number 1 gunner and number 2 gunner, and about 3 ammo carriers generally. And some of them would get hurt. Sometimes you'd have more, sometimes you'd have less. And but anyhow, what was I going to tell you?
About the kitchen.
When they're 91, you forget.
I know when you're 91, you forget.
How the kitchen was up. And I felt so sorry. We pulled back off the line, so depending on what the action that was going on, we pulled back off the line probably 5-6 miles that day. And the kitchen would come up in a big semi, and they would cook for us. And instead of eating the canned stuff, you know, K rations, C rations, stuff like that. And the poor little kids would come out of the woods and one thing or another, and they were just starving. And what really got to me was when the kitchen was done, they dumped the coffee grounds out on the floor, out on the dirt, and the kids were there with spoons and stuff, scraping the coffee grounds into containers to take home. And I felt it was a terrible thing. And so I tried to feed them, but they didn't like that. But anyhow, I fed them some stuff anyhow, for it. But, you know, I imagine what if that was my own kid, you know. Don't realize how lucky we are. Yeah. You want me to tell you about that thing when I went out to get that apple off the tree?
Yes.
We were, this was still in Italy, not very long after I went into the war. And I was green yet and didn't probably realize the full danger of everything. And we went into this one place, it was a farmhouse or whatever you want to call it, huge concrete walls around the whole thing. And we're deciding, you know, the boss tell us, you know, if we were going to go down and take this town literally because there was a lot of Germans there. There were nothing right around. Well, we didn't think there were any right around us. But anyhow, just a little ways away, the hill started, and there was a lot of trees and stuff. And we were just sitting there waiting for orders, kind of. And I looked, and this was in the fall of '43, if I remember right. And there was an apple tree there on it, some nice big apples on it. So I thought, what the hell, I'm going to get one of those. Things were quiet, then we got shot at. And so I went around through the gate, went out, just reaching up to get an apple. And a German, I think it was shooting what we call a sniper machine pistol. It was very high, very rapid fire, just and the tree limbs were falling and one thing and another. And I hit the ground and I crawled like about 40 miles an hour. Got around the other side of the gate then, and then I set up one of our 30 caliber water cooled, and we fired about 1,000 rounds in the direction that fire was coming from the Germans. Don't know if we hit anybody or not, but they sure quit. And then right after that, we'd just been in that place not very long, and there was all of these places, almost all of them, had cellars built outside, and the door was like this, and it was kind of built up, and I suppose you've all seen those, and the doors open like that. And one of the guys opened the cellar door, and we had just taken over the place, and we didn't know if some Germans were in the cellar or not. And one of the guys from the infantry just took out a hand grenade. Nobody answered, so he just took out a hand grenade and threw it down in there. And by some miracle, I don't know if it was the way the configuration of the cellar, the basement, or whatever you call it, the cave, maybe had an angle or something, because two guys come out of there, and neither one of them was hurt, and the sound about deafening, of course, with that grenade exploded. And they tried to explain to us that they weren't Germans, they were talking some other language, which I didn't understand. But I understood later that they were forced into the German army that's what they said anyhow, and we assumed that was true, because they weren't dressed like most Germans. And that was just one of the days.
Is that how you lost your finger there? Was reaching up to get that apple?
No, I wish it was though. No, I got hurt real bad. I was in the Army hospital for a year in Battle Creek, Michigan, Percy Jones General Hospital. And when I got hurt, I went all through France, almost to the Rhine River, and I got shot up pretty bad, and both legs broke, and shrapnel all over, finger going, and this hand broke up this side, but out, which they had fixed. Now, at first, well, for years and years, they couldn't fix it. And I went in one time to get new glasses from the VA, and the guy came out of the back room, and he says, "You want me to fix that eye?" And I said, "Yes." And I said, "But you can't fix that eye." And he said, "Yes, I can." I said, "I should have had it done a long time ago." And he said, "No, you shouldn't." I said, "Why?" He said, "We're going to do it just lately." So, I got big now.
Tell me about when you were pushing you and your squad and everything were pushing the Germans out of those French towns, and you were going through and systematically going into houses.
Oh, yeah, this was along the Rhine River, and it's a town, Sarlaten or something like that. I can't even remember the name of it. But some of those people had to leave so quick that we went into their houses, what they left, big apartments and stuff, and they had their ritzy clothes and everything still in some of the closets, and it was really something, you know.
And how tired were you?
How tired was I?
How tired were you and your group?
Oh, you get so tired that you just walk and go to sleep, you know, when you could. It didn't matter if it was outside or inside or where, you know. It was about as bad as life can get, except for being killed, you know. And there was hundreds of things happen, you know, and you just never knew what was coming next. One time you take a break and be able to run the Germans. The Germans at times were retreating so fast that trucks would come up and load us guys on, or load us infantrymen on trucks and go maybe sometimes as much as 10 miles. Then you get out and set up a defensive line.
And did you go into a house one time and crawl into the cellar? Did you go into a house one time and crawl into the cellar?
Oh, yeah.
Supposed to?
So many of those houses in this part of France, at least, were built up like, like that far off the ground. It wasn't really a cave or a cellar. It was just that space, and I never could understand why. But anyhow, we come to one of those places, and it was getting dark, and we were very, very tired, having walked all day and getting shot at besides. And so we crawled in, 3 or 4 other guys crawled into this house. We were so tired, it was unbelievable. And when I woke up, there was light coming in. Because when we went in there, it was dark, of course. And I don't know what happened, but there was a big hole in one of the walls. And I thought that we slept so well that we didn't even hear a shell hit that wall. And it was a hole like that. And I thought that we had slept that hard that we didn't hear it. Oh, this was an Italy. I hadn't seen any combat then. And we were taking, now there's a lot of things I can tell, but this poor lady, she had several kids sitting on the sidewalk, and I didn't understand much Italian then, but she said, Second Bobbie-Jo, Ninti Papa, Kaza Kabuta. What she was saying was that the house was moved down and her husband was dead and she had 7 kids and she didn't have no food for them and she was just crying, you know. And that's the way life was for so many people over there in the war. And, you know, we think we've got it tough sometimes, but God, we've got it. We're sitting on top of the world, we don't know it, you know.
So, is there anything else you'd like to?
I know. How old were you?
When I was over there, I was 18. Yeah, I was drafted. Yeah, we lived in Nebraska. I was drafted. Took my basic training in Camp River, Oklahoma. After my basic training, I went to the East Coast on a train, and we loaded up on boats. When we went across, we were the biggest convoy that ever went across. There was 100 ships, and to fool the Germans, and mostly their aircraft, we went south, way south, come up along the coast of Africa, and then went into the Mediterranean Sea. But while we were, it was at night, and while we were going along the coast of Africa, we had a German air raid, and our life rafts were all sitting on deck on these big boats, and these boats weren't made to haul men, a lot of them, but they had special rooms, and they would have bunks, three or sometimes four bunks high, and so they could get a lot of people in there. And all the life rafts were piled on the deck, sometimes 20 foot high, and I don't know if I was on the main ship or what, but we shot a ball of fire up in the air when the German airplanes were coming over. And all the ships in the convoy started firing at this ball of fire because they knew that was where the planes were. And they hit 2 planes, and I seen one of them catch on fire and hit in the coast of Africa and explode when it hit. But I was starting to tell you about the life rafts. They were just riddled from our own shrapnel because all of our ships were shooting right at that ball of fire right over us. And as soon as it started happening, of course, we had to get down. And right after I saw that plane hit the ground and catch fire, why I went down below, so I didn't see nothing after that. But you could hear that stuff hitting, just like rain, just all over. One of our officers, he wanted to stay in, and I guess he was the boss, and he got shot. So staying up there, he didn't get killed, but he got some trap money when he got out of there and come down. But anyhow, after that, we just sailed up along the coast of Africa, and the ships, those that were supposed to come into the Mediterranean, and that was my thing too. And we unloaded on the Anzio Beach, and we didn't make the Anzio Beach yet. That was already fought, and before we got there. But that's where we unloaded, and I joined this outfit. I can't remember what the outfit was, but I joined it, and that was it. We were went into Anzio when these big boats came in, and of course we had to unload, take smaller boats into the shore. And then it wasn't too long. I went into it, and we were in combat, went to northern, up to Crossetto and over the town where the Lincoln Tower is and some of those other ones, and quite a ways north. And then we were relieved from the front lines, and we come back and took amphibious training again. Loaded you on small boats with the whole front end of the boat. They're not small boats, they hold like 40, 50 people, some of them. And when you hit the shore, where the whole front end would fall down and they would just run off. And we took amphibious training, and then we made the invasion in southern France. Now, most people only know about the big invasions from England across the English Channel. But there was this invasion too that I was in on, and there is a narrow strip of France between Spain and Italy, and that's where we went.
Daryl, you have a question?
Two questions. How many countries did you fight in? Name them. And did you ever get the apple?
What?
I got the apple and I lost.
I lost my desire for the apple right away.
What countries did you fight in?
Italy and France.
One more.
Fred?
Post-war.
Oh, post-war.
Just
Post-war.
real quick, obviously, you weren't born then.
I don't think there's anything real quick about my dad. Post-war, can you tell us anything about post-war? Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't very good either. I was in Percy Jones General Hospital for a year. I had real trouble. They were out going to lose both legs because I had so much shrapnel in me and knocked out. Well, actually, it tore that much bone out of my left leg, and then when I started getting well, this knee really went bad, so they had to put a new knee in. And this is the truth, and I couldn't hardly believe they could do it. And he says, I noticed your left leg is shorter. Well, even now it's still a little shorter. But I asked him if he could do it. I said, could you cut a little bit off of this leg, off of this bone, and put it in that new knee so I could walk a little better, because I was wearing a shoe with a heel build up like that, and it was, my ankle was always going to sprain. And he says, yeah, we can do that. And he did, so my legs are almost the same.